virtue never has been as respectable as money. It seems to me that just in the ratio that our newspapers increase, our morals decay. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Man is the reasoning animal, such is the claim. I think it is open to dispute. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. Honesty is the best policy when there is money in it. There are many humorous things in the world, among them the white man's notion that he is less savage than the other savages. The human race consists of the dangerously insane and such as are not. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest. The average man's a coward. Man is the only animal that has the true religion, several of them. It is just like man's vanity and impertinence to call an animal dumb because it is dumb to his dull perceptions. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries of life disappear, and life stands explained. To believe yourself brave is to be brave. One never ceases to make a hero of oneself in private. There is a moral sense and there is an immoral sense. History shows us that the moral sense enables us to perceive morality and how to avoid it, and that the immoral sense enables us to perceive immorality and how to enjoy it. Circumstances make man, not man circumstances. Morals are an acquirement like music, like a foreign language, like piety, poker, paralysis. No man is born with them. The kingly office is entitled to no respect. It was originally procured by the highwayman's methods. It remains a perpetuated crime, can never be anything but the symbol of a crime. The very ink with which all history is written is merely fluid prejudice. A nation is only an individual multiplied. The exercise of an extraordinary gift is the supremest pleasure in life. We can secure other people's approval if we do right and try hard, but our own is worth 100 of it, and no way has been found out of securing that. It is easier to stay out than get out. It could probably be shown by facts and figures that there is no distinctly Native American criminal class except Congress. Tyrannical, murderous, rapacious, and morally rotten as they, the nobility, were, they were deeply and enthusiastically religious. Better a broken promise than none at all. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. All say how hard it is that we have to die, a strange complaint to come from the mouths of people who have had to live. Adam did not want the apple for the apple's sake. He wanted it only because it was forbidden. The mistake was in not forbidding the serpent. Then he would have eaten the serpent. Principles have no real force, except when one is well fed. The holy passion of friendship is of so sweet and steady and loyal and and enduring a nature that it will last through a whole lifetime, if not asked to lend money. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Citizenship is what makes a republic. Monarchies can get along without it. What keeps a republic on its legs is good citizenship. There are several good protections against temptations, but the surest is cowardice. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. Do right, and you will be conspicuous. To promise not to do a thing is the surest way in the world to make a body want to go and do that very thing. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. No people in the world ever did achieve freedom by goody-good talk and moral suasion, it being immutable law that all revolutions that will succeed must begin in blood. There are written laws, they perish, but there are also unwritten laws. They are eternal. A sin takes on new and real terrors when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. Courage is the resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Nothing incites to money crimes like great poverty or great wealth. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Monarchies, aristocracies, and religions are all based upon that large defect in your race, the individual's distrust of his neighbour, and his desire, for safety's or comfort's sake, to stand well in his neighbour's eye. When in doubt, tell the truth. Death, the refuge, the solace, the best and kindliest and most prized friend and benefactor of the erring, the forsaken, the old and weary, and broken of heart, whose burdens be heavy upon them, and who would lie down and be at rest. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is a principal difference between a dog and a man. What do we call love, hate, charity, revenge, humanity, forgiveness? Different results of the master impulse, the necessity of securing one's self-approval. Heaven for climate, hell for company. In order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Make it a point to do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Whenever you find you are on the side of the majority, it is time to reform. Let me make the superstitions of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws. The timid man yearns for full value and asks a tenth. The bold man strikes for double value and compromises on par. There is nothing more beneficent than accident insurance. I have seen an entire family lifted out of poverty and into affluence by the simple boon of a broken leg. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. This atrocious doctrine of allegiance to party plays directly into the hands of politicians of the baser sort, and doubtless for that it was borrowed or stolen from the monarchical system. 24 years ago, I was strangely handsome. The remains of it are still visible through the rifts of time. A human being has a natural desire to have more of a good thing than he needs. There are not enough morally brave men in stock. We're out of moral courage material. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he had learned in 7 years. The exercise of an extraordinary gift is the supremest pleasure in life. If a man doesn't believe as we do, we say he is a crank, and that settles it. I mean, it does nowadays, because now we can't burn him. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anyone. Let us endeavour so to live that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. Always acknowledge a fault, frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to commit more. Many a small thing has been made large by advertising. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Reputation is a hallmark. It can remove doubt from pure silver, and it can also make the plated article pass for pure. And so people without a hallmark of their own are always trying to get the loan of somebody else's. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it and stop there, lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well, but also she will never sit down on a cold one anymore. It is noble to teach oneself, but still nobler to teach others, and less trouble. To be busy is man's only happiness. It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those three unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. There are many sorts of books, but good ones are the sort for the young to read. It is easier to stay out than get out. The average man is profoundly ignorant of countries that lie remote from his own. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. What then is the true gospel of consistency? Change. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. I have found out that there ain't no surer way to find out whether you like people or hate them than to travel with them. Necessity knows no law. Each person is born to one possession which outvalues all his others, his last breath. We ought never to do wrong when people are looking. Life should begin with age and its privileges and accumulations, and end with youth and its capacity to splendidly enjoy such advantages. It's an epitome of life. The first half of it consists of the capacity to enjoy without the chance. The last half consists of the chance without the capacity. Education consists mainly in what we have unlearned. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things except one: keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. Habit is habit, and not to be flung out of the window by any man, but coaxed downstairs a step at a time. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. It is better to deserve honours and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Necessity is the mother of taking chances.